Sunday night was like and maybe how different it was than after any other win last night?
Well, I was really happy for this group. I think it started there. I think it's just been a long haul, a lot of adversity and a lot of challenges. So to see a group come together the way they did, and I was really genuinely happy for Clarissa and Annalise. That's kind of where I went first. They've had to endure a lot this year as seniors and leaders, and my first thoughts were there. And then as the celebration kind of winded down, to be honest with you, I had two little guys there that had to get home and get to bed. So, but I did have a glass of wine when it was all said and done, so I enjoyed it a little bit.
Suzy, are you only four Big Ten championships for this program in their history, and you have two of them? Are you able to enjoy that now, or does that come at the end of the year, or the end of the career? Can you talk about how that?
Well, I'm excited for our program and for Michigan State. I think they've invested a lot into women's basketball, and it's a tribute to Luana Simon and Mark Hollis and Shelley Applebaum and all the people and the marketing team and all that put people in the stands. But I am proud of it, but certainly not satisfied by it. There's a lot left in the season, and it was enjoyable to hang the banner, but I guess I haven't really thought too much about where it stacks up in history. What I was excited about with it is to see a class come in and win one as freshmen and finish it off as seniors. That to me, I was more proud of them being able to bookend, and that's the first time that's ever been done for a class here at Michigan State. So for me, it was more about that than it was about anything overall in the history of the program.
Suzy, you talked about the NCAA tournament last night and the flaws in that process a little bit in the seeding. And what would you like? What's the ideal world for women's basketball and how to tackle that in your mind?
I don't know. There's so much out there right now, Graham, with those white paper reports and all the challenges that the women's game faces and whatnot. And I understand why those home seeds are, interesting and important in some ways. It just, I just think the ideal thing is to play on a neutral site. I mean, that's kind of what you work hard and what the regular season should determine in your conference tournaments, how you finish. I mean, ideally for me, it would be to be able to play on a neutral site and everybody's got fair access to a new gym and not their own fan base and all the things that go with that. So to me, it'd be great to do that. I don't know how that's going to mesh from a financial perspective, and that's kind of where a lot of this is driven, is the attendance and the financial piece to it. But to me, if it's a true fair fight, you're not playing on somebody's home court.
Tori and Ariel obviously have played big roles, but can you kind of talk about Brandy? I mean, she's kind of the person that doesn't get as much pub as them, and what she's kind of brought and how she's kind of aided the title run.
Well, lately she's been very significant for us. I mean, I think athletically you can see she can do some things. She's a great rebounder, has really good length. She's really coming around defensively. So that's what I think she's given the most. Where the other piece to her game that I think she's pretty good at is getting to the rim. She's doing a much better job now of pitching and reading and having body control. So I think because of that, like, she would just plow through people and, and cause herself to get fouls and charges. She didn't always have good vision. And I think those are the things she's bringing us, is penetration in the paint, being able to set people up, and certainly the rebounding piece. Those are the areas that I see her being most significant. I'm sure it's been hard on her too, because those two kids are in the same class and they've been strong contributors. And not that Brandy isn't significant, but certainly not to the level of those kids in terms of point production and minutes played. But she's kept in the fight, and I'm really proud of her for that, because sometimes it's not easy when other people are getting the attention and you feel like you're practicing and it's just not paying off. But to her credit, I think you see, staying in the fight has allowed her to play more minutes for us and be a factor.
What was the dynamic that allowed you to host several years ago, and then that's not there now in terms of the tournament? And then does it limit what you could expect from the ceiling of your program a little bit when you don't know year after year what kind of matchup that might be out of your control?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. Right now the High School Athletic Association has that weekend for the high school girls tournament, which is obviously beneficial in many ways. On the other side of it, though, it's with the NCAA and certainly their needs and expectations of a host facility, you have to have access. And we've looked at trying to wiggle worm it in there a little bit, and there's no way you can do it. Ohio State, the year when I was at Eastern Michigan, we went to the NCAA tournament. They had the high school state finals on their campus and then ended up hosting. And so they actually played in St. John Arena. The NCAA, we played in St. John Arena, and in the shot was the high school tournament. So that was kind of an interesting way to do it. But I think, for us, it is advantageous to host, and, we're looking at, trying to figure out how we can make everything work. But, it's not easy when you're under contract and there's benefits on both sides. Does it limit our ceiling? I don't think so. I just think it makes it more challenging, that, for us, we've been pretty solid on the road this year. So hopefully we've gone into some tough environments and performed okay. So to me, I don't think that limits our ability to, move forward. But as you know, it's where they put you and what your matchups and how you kind of fit in those situations. For the last 2 years, we've gone to Maryland. In fact, I was texting with the assistant Maryland this morning. I'm like, gosh, I can't imagine we'd go there for 3 straight years, So good luck in the tournament. Hope we don't see you. But if we do, that would be really bizarre, really bizarre.
Two things. Here's your short answer. Is the status of Kiana changed? Is she done for the year, or can't you say yet?
Yeah, we're not there yet, Fred. I
Okay.
wish I could tell
It's
you
still
more.
a
It's still
week to
indefinite,
week?
yeah.
Okay. Now, forgive my editorializing, but the silly Big Ten tournament, what's the motivation now? You've fought 16 games, you got a share of the league. Now you're going to pare it to 4 days before you go to the NCAA. Is it to improve your seeding? Is it to break the tie? Is it just to keep getting better, or what the heck is it?
Yeah. I saw an interview with Bobby Knight last night, and Wichita's coach, and he's like, he hates them. His least favorite thing, conference tournaments. For us, I think just with the youth, with 2 freshmen starting and Brandy being significant, I think the survive and advance, you don't win, you don't play mentality, you're done. So that is valuable if we want to keep playing from Friday to Saturday into Sunday, that you have to perform night in and night out and quickly. The turnaround time has to be obviously something that these kids learn to do in a hurry. We don't have 2-3 day preps with maybe a day off. So I think the value with the 3 of our freshmen playing would be the survive and advance mentality and the quick turnarounds. And improving the seating, I guess, on some level. But again, it makes it difficult on the women's side with the host sites. I'm not always sure it's a guaranteed 5 to a 3 or a 3 to a 7. It's hard to tell. It's not do or die, I know, but if you're a competitor and you want to win, you realize, I think the finality of that, maybe feeling if you don't do that, if you lose the first game or you win, then you lose the next one, or if you get to a championship and lose, or you get to the championship and win, just kind of managing those emotions and understanding the importance of every possession and being able to do it back to back to back is tough. I'm not going to go that far, but we got one, so that's where we're at. It's not going anywhere right now.
Your freshmen have had to adjust a lot this season to certain things. Can you talk about, how you think they'll play in the Big Ten tournament, and I guess maybe how you think they'll do?
Gosh, if I could predict that, I'd feel pretty good about myself. I think they're next year kids right now with the minutes they've logged, to be honest with you. You're looking at Ariel and Brandy Ariel and Tori and Brandy, who have played a lot of minutes this year and been significant. So I don't see them as, having a challenge there. I think they'll do fine. I think they've been pretty consistent for us, which is an unusual trait for freshmen, and they've continued to do that. So I believe they'll continue to keep performing the way they're performing. That's my plan anyway.